And that's the third category. Something you're only going to find on a car like this. The stuff that's so rare that it's obviously valuable, but the fact that none of them have sold before, there's no sales data, you just don't know how valuable. Stuff like these door sills, I think the closest thing we can compare that to is, say, a Roush Mustang. Obviously, they made a lot more Roush Mustangs than they did these Yenkos. And the Roush ones are worth like $250 compared to the $50 a normal plastic set of Mustang ones would be. Stuff like this is just always tough. Sometimes you post a part for what feels like insane money and it sells instantly, and you see another one sell down the road for 2, 3, 4 times more. Or you list it and there's just zero demand and it never moves. It's always just a shot in the dark. Now, like everything in life, there's some exceptions to those three categories. You've got some modules, specifically the ones back here in the trunk, that actually have a decent bit of value. You got this Bose amplifier, which is like $250. You also got this little fuse box guy down here. These look like they're about $200. Check that out. So, when I'm pulling that fuse box, I saw these guys in this. That is clearly not like an OEM type fuse holder. And it goes to that right there, a Kenny Bell booster pump, which I did not expect to see on a Yenko Camaro. I dig that. I think it's cool to see that on a car of this caliber. So we got our ground, we got our power in and power out, then we have this wire, which, yeah, I think it goes to the front. That checks out. It's basically gonna be impossible to see, but there's a grommet right there. It comes out, it goes up, and then ultimately goes onto a Hobbs switch right there on the back of the supercharger.
You're supposed to disconnect the white wire so it doesn't blow up, or the...
Both. In this case, both.
Okay.
It's actually kind of cool how they set this up. The way a Hobbs switch works is it's only active under boost, meaning our Kenny Bell booster pump was also only active under boost. And that's great because what that does is basically supercharges your fuel pump. The downside to that, of course, is if you're running it all the time, it's going to eat that thing up fast. Hence the Hobbs switch, made by John Wesley Hobbs.
John Weston Hobbs in 1938. Originally created in order to measure the number of hours on an aircraft engine, it activated via oil pressure. So once oil pressure was on the engine, it would start counting hours.
And then some hillbilly was like, yeah, we can use this on the car too. You know, it is kind of crazy that you can take basically a brand new Camaro, and this is all it strips down to as far as the interior goes. Overall though, you still got to feel pretty good about this whole interior part out. Even outside of the parts that we've already talked about, you got things like the shifter, that's about $100. You got the gauge cluster, that's like $150. There's just a lot of parts that, while they aren't worth much on their own, by the time you take this and this dash vent and the engine start-stop switch and add them all up, it actually starts to become something, and that matters when you're trying to recoup 28 grand. You got